Hi, my name's Vicky, the Carpenter's daughter. Welcome back to me using a spirit level on a chimney breast for this. I'm going to put a concrete lintel in there. Now, I've been psyching myself up for quite a while to do this. I've been drawing a few designs. Well, I've been constructing this on SketchUp because it's not an ordinary chimney breast, and I had to go up into the loft to look down at the voids to work out this. And you know, if you're a brickie, you probably know this is the chimney stack and it's all tied in to the breeze blocks. So I had to be careful planning where my lintel was going to go, because see these little short bricks here, these go that way. So I didn't really want to be messing about trying to cut those out and then putting a lintel in there. So I've come up with 3 different ideas and then I finalised on one. But initially we were going to have it further up before we knew about it all being tied in together. Then I decided here, because these bricks weren't going the other way. But I have spoken to the fireplace where we do plan to get our fire from, and he said 900 by 900 was the perfect sweet spot for aesthetically pleasing. And that actually takes us down to here with, okay, there's 25mm to 50mm for a hearth. But I've rang him up and he said it'll be perfect. I hope it will be perfect. So what I've done is found my centre point of the chimney breast on the floor and here, and I've worked out the height as well. I've measured that of where I want the lintel to go. Bear in mind, you've got these bricks going this way, apart from one is going that way. So that centre point has allowed me to work out the width of it equally. So I've got my spirit level plumb and drawn a chalk line. And I've also drawn one for the lintel where I need to cut a notch out all the way here. So my concrete lintel is a P100. It's 65 by 100. It's the thickness of a brick. It's also known as a pre-stressed concrete lintel, and mine's 1200mm long, and with my 900mm wide opening, this gives me my minimum required end bearing of 150mm each side to rest on the bricks below. Now, you might be wondering whether the bricks are going to come down above. I've got a plan. Now, I don't recommend doing this method at home. It's just we live in a bungalow, and above this top layer of bricks, which I put in the other week because they weren't there, this middle bit is the chimney. That's the only brickwork above there. I've consulted with my dad, who's done this loads of times, who's convinced the only thing that's going to fall down potentially is 1 or 2 bricks in a pyramid here. So what I'm going to do is mount pretty much a 2x4 above where I'm going to be putting my lintel, just to secure those in place with concrete screws while I start chiseling away here. And then once I've got the lintel in place, I've secured it, I can take this off and I can start taking this out as well, the sides. The other reason that I didn't actually want to go up here is I've measured the bricks behind here, and it is this point here. I had to be really careful behind here because this is where the flue is behind there. And with this idea here, I should have 28cm of flue exposed from the fire. It all depends on what size stove you're going to go for, but the one we've gone for, the fire company were fine enough to tell me what opening would be best. So yeah, I'm going to leave it in their hands after I've done this. Maybe actually, we'll see how we get on. I quite fancy installing my own hearth. Now my concrete screws aren't the longest, and I didn't really want to buy any more because it's only temporary. So what I've done is just used a flatwood drill bit to drill out a bit, just so I can sink my screw in even further into the brickwork. Now I'm going to place this where it's not too close to where I need to drill holes out, but now I'm using a 6mm masonry drill bit to drill holes. I'll start with a couple first, then I can free my hand. Well, that's in. Hey, is that your new mantle then? So now I'm going to put a load of concrete screws back in so it's easier for me to mount it while I'm there. Oh, and the masonry screws also come with a Torx bit as well that you need to put them in. Right, so now I've got that in place, I'm going to start doing some drill stitching along the mortar at the top here to loosen this course of bricks away from the top one. I'm also going to be using my angle grinder with masonry cutter as well, particularly around the ends of the lintels here, and that'll be for when I need a pristine cut. So out of this row of long bricks, the good news is this is actually a short brick, and I thought it could be the only one that goes that way, but it doesn't. Come on, come on. Sod it is gone. Oh, it's so weird, I can see inside. It's drafty in there. Yay! It's a frog brick. It fits! So I'm pretty pleased that I finally got the lintel in, and there's plenty of room for mortar around. Initially I did have to chip away some of the original mortar at the bottom of this course of bricks because it was a little bit too tight, but it is almost level, it's not quite right. So we'll have to deal with that later. The first thing I need to do is now take it out, and then we're going to cut the lines here for our wider opening. Now to cut my opening at 900mm wide, my Yorkshire friends at Evolution Power Tools kindly sent me one of their 300mm disc cutters with dust suppression. Oh, it's not light. Anyway, because I'd never used it before, I plugged it into our new outdoor socket we'd had installed and hooked it up to my new outdoor tap that I fitted in last week's video. So I'm just doing my first test with a crappy brick. Wow, it's almost polished. But it's not the straightest of cuts, but I'm not using a guide. So I'm now ready to cut. And what I've done is I've added 2 uprights and I've got them level, exactly the same as I did with this. And this is going to be my cutting guide for the stone cutter. And I've also double checked that it is even as well for aesthetics, and the same over there. And I'm going to use it properly for the first time ever. So I'm going to take my time, I'm not going to be quick.
Find My Guide was preventing me from cutting all the way through, so I removed it for that final pass.
There you go. Yeah, nice.
For the opposite end, I found it more awkward because I'm not left-handed. I definitely need more practice with that side.
So now I've cut my 2 straight lines and they measure perfectly. I don't want to remove the brickwork just yet. What I want to do now is put my lintel in. And once my lintel is in, I'll leave it to set and then I can start having a go at these bricks further down. I'm not really concerned about this corbelling yet because these 2 bricks here are tied to the front here and the back 2 are tied to the back wall. And the lintel's going to cover them. So what I'm doing is just brushing off any debris before I put my packers and mortar on. And then I need to wet this. There are bits that I need to brush there. Most of them have got frog holes. I can't find a matching pair of gloves. Anyway, I'm going to be using 3 parts building sand to 1 part cement. I'm mixing it in here. So I'm using a cup to mix it. So we decided to do 2 lots of it. 1. So I'm using a cup of water. A very useful tap, that. I've added a splash more, I'm happier with that. Put some in there. That's fine, that's fine. Right, I want a straight edge first. Right, let's double check this level. I like that. I know we still need packers.
Now I'm prying the lintel up to wedge in some broken pieces of slate either side to pack it as they don't compress under pressure. I bought a sheet of it for about £3. Once it was sufficiently wedged both sides and level, I used the rest of my mortar to point and fill any gaps around with my small trowel.
So I've left my mortar to set over the last 2 days, and now I'm going to take the screws out of my support piece and hopefully everything's going to be fine. Why wouldn't it be? Well, got a couple of bits of protruding mortar. So my next job is I've got to carefully remove these bricks which may be tied onto this back wall. I am leaving those there because that is what's supporting the chimney stack there. And I'm going to try and remove these. And as long as I go carefully, I can't imagine disrupting this that much because these bricks are resting on the lintel and that brick wall at the back, and they're going that way. So it seems pretty evident that I'm not going to be able to finish this job this week. I wasn't expecting all of this mortar and bricks here. I've tried with my concrete breaker, my SDS hammer drill, and it's just not quick. I need to get those out just so I can put some bricks or breeze blocks back here to create a wall. Obviously I don't want anything escaping up there, and it does need a register plate at some point here. But if you've got a better idea than putting bricks here, let me know. I'm looking forward to getting this finished. I just wish it was this week. But if you want to come and see what it looks like from underneath here, these are just stuck here, which I might just remove, but the ones above are sandwiched, resting on the lintel and built into the brickwork here. Anyway, I'm going to crack on so I can get this finished by next week, and hopefully I'll see you in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye.